All right, Barlow Brigade. How y'all doing? Old Big Jim coming at y'all from the Barlow Observation Group here in South Mississippi. Just another great day. Nice and cool outside. I went and got the boys in. They fed up. They was ready to go right on back out. I guess they feeling this little cool weather. Of course, they say it's supposed to be in the 90s or get to 90 today. 88, 89, 90 in that area here in South Mississippi. But that it's springtime. That's what's expected. So it's not a spring. I stay stopped up, and unfortunately, I have a nose spray that is prescribed, and I ran out yesterday. So if I sound a little thumped up, it's because I am. Anyway, it's Monday, so I get y'all know that on Monday is when I do my modified Monday. I always do it. Of course, I'm never ready. I always forget something. But look him, I can figure it out because I'm that guy. Y'all give me just 10 seconds. Look at there. Didn't even take that long. Uh, Modified Monday. Aaron Williams. Uh, I guess I'm just gonna tell y'all every week that Aaron Williams is a fine fella. I'm honored to call him my friend. Um, what else can I tell y'all? He's an artist. He's a designer. He's a family man. He's a father. Uh, just a great guy. I, normally, uh, we've been communicating lately in the little chat group we got. And, of course, he's always giving me the rib, which is fine. I love it. They ain't nothing better than for me to say something and one of my brothers, one of my fellers gives me a good old rib shot and you know, bam, right in there. But anyway, AW, okay. And I'm gonna tell y'all a little story about this. Now, this is hilarious to me. Now, this may be crazy to y'all, but about 2 or 3 weeks ago, a lady friend of mine that she's in construction, and I'm talking about real construction. She does painting, trim work, finish work. She's good. She's real good. Uh, she paints. She's an artist. She's just an all around good old girl. Okay. Well, she come by one morning, about like right now, knocked on the door, and she was headed to work out on the west side of town, and she had run out of latex gloves, and she needed some gloves to uh, to go to work. So I said, "Well, look, I got a couple of boxes stashed back there in the back part of my house where all the rest of my stuff is." And I said, "Hold on." So I went back there and got a box of 50 out, and on top of my dryer over there was a box, just look probably a ragu noodle box or something. I don't know what kind of box it was, but it had a couple of screwdrivers, a couple of things. So I opened up this box of gloves and just reached in there and grabbed me a hand out of them and threw, big, a fistful and threw them in that box and gave her the box and told her to, hook it up, go to work, get it done. And I ain't worried about it. I've seen her a couple times since then. I ain't worried about it. I ain't said nothing to her. But the gloves were, they weren't in the way, but they were. Every time I went to that block looking for something, uh, so I just one day got up and walked that way, and when I did, I reached down here below me right here. I've got padded envelopes and boxes and stuff comes in. I just stick it under there to where I ain't got to mess with it right now. And I may use them to ship something to somebody. Anyway, that don't matter. But I grabbed a just like right here, I grabbed this one. And this came from G-Man, Gordon Holman, okay? And it was just like this one. And it's sitting over there right now. But last night, the first night we're going to talk about, I got ready to do a project. I needed some gloves. So I go over there to that envelope and to get me a glove. And when I picked it up and looked at it, it's one that Aaron Williams had sent me something in. So, you know, I don't sit around here, day tripping about A-Dub. I mean, he knows that. I mean, but it's just kind of strange that I put latex gloves in an envelope. Didn't even know which envelope it was. I just grabbed one because I was in a hurry getting. This lady she gets paid by the hour. She needs to go to work, and then 2 weeks later I go in there and look, and it happens to be an Aaron Williams envelope. I mean, and that to me it was hilarious, and I, of course I chuckled at some weird stuff. Anyway, let's talk about pocket knives. What do y'all think? Work for y'all? Okay. The other day I was surfing on eBay. I don't know, maybe a week or so ago, and looking for some knives, and typed in Roper Pecos because y'all probably seen the Pecos knife that Aaron Williams had sent me. So I look from time to time, look for this, look for that, and that was just something I was looking for at 1 o'clock at night. But so I found this and that and this carbon steel 1065, and but this one was a little different. So all of them, there's probably 100. I don't know. There's a bunch of listings for a white bone Sodbuster Junior in 1065 carbon steel. Okay, pretty common knife. You get them in Tractor Supply. You get them from ABKT. There's several places you can get them. But this one was a little different, and it's the only one I saw on the entire website. And they had it listed for I think $13.99 or $14.99. I don't remember. But y'all look at this. Now this part back here, this Roper part, that's always been on there. But I've never seen one that was scrimshawed with a scene on it. Now I know they're probably out there. There's probably hundreds of them out there, but I thought that was amazing. So I, being me, I sent them an offer, $10, and they accepted. So that I paid $4, I think, shipping, $4.85 of shipping or whatever it was, and I got it here to my door, and it's just a pretty little old Sodbuster. It's a lockback now. There's a lot of everybody has their own take on the Sodbuster Junior, Sodbuster, the big one. So it's not pretty common knife. I got, I don't know, 15 of them, maybe juniors, and probably got 8 or 10 of the big ones. But this one being in carbon steel, I said, wonder what would happen if I blued the blade. Take rifle bluing and just blue the blade. Of course, that won't work on stainless. Well, it might. I've never tried it. I just don't know. I know you can heat treat stainless and make it blue, and carbon steel. You can turn all steels blue if you get it hot enough. But it's a fine line. You got to take it to that blue, because if you go into the browns or into turn it into a cherry red, you're going to lose your heat treat. But anyway, so that's what I did. I took this knife and I blued the blade. So this is what it looks like. Now, whenever you do this, you take a cotton swab, and that's why I needed the rubber glove, latex glove. You take a cotton swab and you dip, pour a little bit. I pour a little bit into a little dose cup, poured it in there, and I got the cotton swab in there, and I swabbed it, put it in there, and I swabbed it, and I set it down, let it dry for a minute. Then I came back a little bit later, and it started developing like a crust. So I took it, and I took that cotton swab, dipped it, rubbed it again, So I did that 3 times, and this is what I came up with. Now, it's a patina, I guess. I mean, it's blue. It won't come off now, but it had a crust on it, and I took some fine steel wool and just went over it with the. Now, I just noticed there's a little. You can see there's a little spotting. I can't see it much right there. But see, there's a little spotting on the edge right there. Of course, now I didn't sharpen it, but I stropped it after I got through with it. I mean, it's sharp. Well, you know, I get a piece of paper I can't cut, but it's sharp. It's you know, I didn't try to sharpen it but I know it'll sharpen because it's 1065. It's good carbon steel, so I can get it sharp. That's not a problem. But I just thought it was something to try, and I don't know. Yeah, I got to do something with that blade. Y'all can't. Well, I know you can see it because I can see it. See it on that blade right there. It's kind of peppering. And I mean, this may be, you know, that's the first time I blew the gun before, but this is the first time I've ever blew the knife blade. And but that's what Modified Monday's about. You know, you learn things. But the thing about the knife, I mean, it's a great knife. Like I say, I can get it sharp. That ain't no problem. But it's a great little lockback. I mean, lockback knives get, you know, if you lock it into place and it's solid and there's no wobble at all in this knife, that's a win. Okay. Now you'll get some of them, and I didn't even check this one. Yeah, it's not completely centered, but see, you can push it a little bit, and it'll go to center. But that's normal on a lockback knife because the lock is going to cause it when it's in a resting position to be in one position or the other. But anyway, just a great little knife. You know, like I say, I'll get it sharp. That's not a problem. All right, the next knife in the lineup is a razor knife, and it's something I picked up at the Wiggins Gun Show, and I'm going to put a clip right here of the knife before I did anything to it. Now, it's been through the spa. It's been, you know, I cleaned out all the channels. I went in there with sandpaper. You know, I gave it the entire spa treatment because it needed it. I mean, it was gummy. It was in pretty rough shape. But I got just a clip of it. You know, I got to set it here on the table and show, you know, took pictures of it. And the tip, I've showed the knife already to y'all, but the tip of it was broken off or cut off, or somebody, you know, the blade was way high. The kick was, you know, I don't know what was going on. I think the person that had it was having trouble with it coming open in their pocket because the pull, you know, the easy open was or the blade was getting caught on stuff in their pocket, so they just ground the end of it flat to make it like a sheep's foot. But I restored it, and I think it turned out pretty good, and it has beautiful bone. So let me get that clip in here for y'all, and then I'll come back and show y'all the knife, and it turned out pretty nice. All right, see y'all in a bit. All right, everybody, we back. Uh, we're going to continue our Modified Monday. Next little cutter I got here is the frost knife. I'm almost certain. I'm not absolutely sure, but it's something that I picked up at the knife show. Didn't pay but a couple of bucks for it. But I saw the potential in this particular knife and thought that bringing it back to its former glory would be a good thing. So, well, the pattern is called it's a razor knife, and it's uh, the name of it is the Little Raise. That's the word little and then RAZ. Now I remember this pocket knife, and it's a pattern that they did back in the oh Lord, I'm going to say early '80s. Uh, there's none on eBay. There's none on the internet. The only I found one little clip on All About Pocket Knives, and they spoke about it. There were no pictures, but let's go ahead and bring it now. Y'all have seen the the pre what it looked like when I got it, and man, this thing is pretty. It's pretty. Pocket red is pocket bone, pocket worn. Uh, I can't date I can't date it as far as how old it is. Now there's a little bit of tarnishing inside right here that I can't. I mean, I can get it out, but I'd have to put a wire brush on it, like on my Dremel. But I just don't want to do that. That's on the brass liners. But that sun gun is pretty. I mean, up close. I hope the camera is doing it justice because and I'm not saying anything about the Case Redbone, the old Case Redbone knives. I'm not saying anything about them, but this is in that league, and I hate to say that because I'm gonna have some Case guys out there that's gonna say, "Man, that's crazy," this, that, this, and that. But that sun gun, this is some pretty Redbone right here. I'm telling you. Now, first, I'm gonna showcase the the main blade, but here's your, and I hadn't done the micro polish or any of that on this. I just gave it a good rub with the mothers. Uh, but sexy pen blade there. Probably got a little Earl down in there. You oil these things back up and get them, and the snap is not, it's not real good, but it's just coming back. It's getting better every time I do it. But here we're gonna go with the main blade. Okay, and once again, man, y'all look at that red bone. Ooh, Lord, that's pretty. Okay, there's the back of it, and it says Little Raise right there on the thing, and then there's the seam pull for the one-arm razor, which is what this is. It's a one-arm razor. And so you still got, you still got the micro scratches on there. Like I say, I'm not gonna go in here and do a show quality restoration on these knives. I mean, it's a even though this may warrant it, but I'm just, I got a lot of stuff to do. Next night I'm gonna show y'all is gonna be y'all gonna really like it. But it's just a little pocket dropper. It's just something that I'm paid $2 for it, and like I say, it ain't no big time snapper. It ain't no, we're not gonna stop the clock with it by any means. But if you're going to church or if you're going to just run to town, you want to stick something in your watch pocket. in case you need to cut up, open package or whatever you want to do with it. I just don't think you can get no prettier than that. That's just, of course, I'm fairly opinionated about certain knives, certain patterns and stuff like that. But that thing is pretty. All right, this next knife is going to be something else, and I'm going to drop a clip in here for y'all on this one, and then I'll be back, and we'll go over what we ended up with. All right, be right back. All right, Brigade, we're back, or I'm back. I don't know. Anyway, the last knife uh, that I have is something that I received as a gift at the recent knife show, and I got a bag of knives. I don't know how else to, I don't know how else to explain it to y'all. But anyway, from this gentleman right here, Brother Dwayne Clark, Mister. I can't, it's like he's like Aaron. I don't know what else I can say about some of these individuals. Anyway, Brother Dwayne gifted me with he has these little burlap bags that he sends out his gifts in, and he handed me this bag, and I think it had 6 or 7 knives in it. I don't know. I've got 2 left that I know. Well, the 2 Barlows that I've already done, and then this knife. So I just don't remember. How about that? I'll say 6, and we'll leave it at that. 'Cause I don't know. But anyway, this is it's a unique knife in the pattern, and but it's an excellent knife, and obviously, Brother Dwayne watches the last 2 knives will really demonstrate that, but he watches my stuff, and which I know he does because he always comments or he tries to comment because he's a busy man. Wife, family, job, his devotion to God, his ministry that he's developing. But anyway, I'll just go ahead and show y'all. Now, yeah, I freestyle. Okay, it's a freestyle, but it came out pretty good. Okay, this pattern is called a kayak. Okay, now uh, it is very similar to a canoe. Okay, but it doesn't have the actual upswept bolsters that a normal canoe has. The blades are exactly the same. All the features. I should have maybe brought a real, an actual canoe out here. And this is about 4 inches, whereas the canoes are usually 3 and 5/8 in that area. Of course, you got what I call they have a butter bean, and then they have a small canoe, and then they have the regular size canoe, and then they have the kayak. And let me open this blaze up here so I can show you. Because it's kind of if you don't really see it and don't really, well, this is one of them knives that, well, when I explain who it's from and all, you'll understand. But this has got some vicious springs. But you'll notice right in the middle, See how it's got that little swerve right in the middle. You know, now the bottom's flat, but the top right in the middle has got that little thing there, and that's what makes it a kayak. That and the fact that it doesn't have the upswept bolsters on the end. Now, and of course, I got this one polished up pretty good. We'll go ahead and give y'all the flyby. Get your little pin blade there. Now I burnt this in. I just put a pattern in there with a torch. I've got a pretty good bit of time in there, and you'll see right there it says on the blade etching, it says Queen City. Okay, that's the overseas version of Queen cutlery, which, you know, most of the Queen knives now are still made in America, but they're made by a company from Jacksonville, Alabama. If that means anything to y'all. But Queen knives have always been known for one thing, and this is it. That snap. Okay, I don't care if it's an overseas Queen, a USA Queen. I don't know what year this is. The tank stamp. I don't know if this thing hurts you. It's got some springs. Tank stamp just says Queen City. I don't know if I can get that in there where y'all can see it or not. Kind of hard with those bolsters and the blades, the way the blades are designed, to get it in there just right. But right here, all you can see is it says Queen, but it says Queen City. There's no part number. I don't know anything about when this was made or any of that. Listen to this. Okay, but the bone handles. Beautiful. I tried to dye it orange because Brother Dwayne is a Tennessee fan, and which is fine, man. You know, all this football rivalry and all that stuff, man. I root for LSU. He roots for Tennessee. You know, somebody else roots for Ole Miss or Alabama. That's, you know, that just gives us something to dog each other about on the weekend during football season. But anyway, that thing polished up. I'm talking about purdy. This is a looker. I'll probably do when I do my pocket dump bar. And I love my pocket dump videos. You know, I'm trying to spice them up a little bit, get them. I always offer some good music and some pocket knives to look at. Today there's a slimline trapper in there that I got from Dan Edwards. That thing is a beast. Anyway, I think it turned out pretty dang good. Got some pepper in that back spring is carbon. That's why you got that you know, that see how you got that teenering on that back spring right there? So the blades are stainless steel. But she's a looker, guy. I'm telling you what. All right. We'll go ahead and close her up here, guys. And, you know, I don't know how long it's going to be because I got 5 clips put together. Last time I did this, I got the clips all out of order, and they were backwards and upside down and crooked. And anyway, I'm going to try to do better on this one. So maybe I'll get it right this time. And, but once again, man, big shout out to my brother, Aaron Williams. Y'all get up there. Y'all, Brother Dwayne and Aaron Williams, y'all need to go, but everybody needs to go and subscribe to those channels. Well, go have a look. And then if you feel, you know, AW, you know, like I say, he's a family man. He runs a business. I think he works a job. You know, he has a wife. You know, his daughter, who he's very dedicated to. You know, y'all, you know, but when he drops something, look, I'll watch it. The last video he did where he modified a couple of straight knives, I watched it 3 times, you know, and totally motivated me. I pulled old knife out of a box and polished it and, you know, adjusted the blade and all that just because I watched one of his videos. So, but anyway, uh, I love each and every one of y'all. Thank y'all for coming by for Modified Monday. Of course, I've always working on. I got 3 or 4 night projects going right now, so you know, just don't ever know what I'm gonna do. Next Monday will be a whole other adventure. What y'all think? Okay, I love each and every one of y'all. I want y'all to know that the family's growing. I woke up this morning. I had 710 subscribers. I gained 8 subscribers yesterday. That's amazing. I love y'all. Rule number 9.